Are you still in separation with your twin flame? Frustrated that they haven't come back yet? Questioning, will they ever choose you? Well, the thing is, and the most important thing is, we first have to choose ourselves. We have to become empowered, sovereign, and whole within, completely complete, before union can happen. So this is about doing the inner work, finding who you are, and empowering who you are, before you can expect your twin flame to come back and choose you as well. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, we're constantly, that question is going around in our head all the time. Why won't they choose me? They're not choosing you. They're not actually choosing themselves. This is the thing. We choose ourselves, they choose themselves, and then that means we choose each other. It's a mirrored energy. But if we're sitting here asking ourselves, why aren't they coming back? What did I do wrong? I'm feeling unworthy. What's wrong with me? This is disempowerment. And every time we go into a no contact phase, we get ghosted or whatever, we will go back down into this disempowered energy. We will go back down into this unworthiness. And I know we're repeating, this unworthiness wound is huge fucking mongus. And I keep going on about it because it's our biggest fucking wound. And like for me personally, it's just cyclical. Again and again and again and again and again. It's so fucking deep. And we question, our biggest question is that's a good question. Why won't he choose me? Why won't he come back? What did I do wrong? What is wrong with me? But ask yourself, are you choosing you? Are you choosing purpose? Are you choosing growth? Are you choosing your healing? You know, we have to get into this empowered mode. You know, I mentioned this already, like we should have a new relationship status and it should be called empowered. You know what I mean? We shouldn't, like, we're single but unavailable, but we have to remain sovereign. Like, you know, if we're on the twin flame journey and we're insecure, we're sad, we're wondering what we're doing with any of it, we're still dating and we're still getting rejected over and over again, we're directionless. This is not you choosing sovereignty. This is you repeating your old patterns. And this is you not choosing your growth. And like this mirrors back to your twin flame as well. The longer you don't choose yourself, the longer they won't choose you either. Because if you keep going back in a disempowered state, if you keep allowing their behavior in a disempowered state, it's going to repeat again and again and again. And we wonder why separation takes so long. It's because we're not healing our fucking shit. We're literally sitting there going, I'll wait for him to choose me and I will wait then and then I'll be happy and everything will be dunky hoary and you know what I mean? Like everything will be just literally like happy days and you know, once I'm chosen, I'm worthy. It doesn't work like that. The only way we actually become worthy is by finding that worthiness within, by choosing our growth, by choosing our healing. And this is the thing. We can't put our worthiness into our twin flame's hands. We can't. You know what I mean? We have to get there on our own. You know, we question every single day what we did wrong. What's the problem with us? But this is orchestrated. You're not allowed to be in contact with your twin flame until you do the work. And that means choosing yourself. And they're not allowed to come back towards you unless they do the work, unless they choose themselves. And this is the thing, like, you know, I remember having an affirmation written down, you know, thank you for my twin flame choosing me. And when I rewrote that, I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. I said, thank you for my twin flame choosing himself and me and this relationship. You know what I mean? Because he has to choose himself first, the same way that I have to choose myself first. You know, like, it's all mirrored. Anything we feel towards ourselves, our twin flame feels towards themselves as well. And that's disempowerment. That's unworthiness. That's insecurity. That's directionless. And we like, I've seen this as well. And I've done this before myself. Like when we're in the dark night of the soul, when we're in the depths of healing, and when we're in the runner chaser mode, we're literally sitting there, twiddling our thumbs, staring at the fucking phone, waiting for your twin flame to come back and waiting for your purpose to sit there, to fall into your lap. I've said this before. mission is combined with your twin flame, but you have to be on mission first. You cannot, like, I remember saying this for ages. Oh, I'll find my purpose when I'm in twin flame union. I'll find my direction when we're united. That doesn't work. Like, one of the biggest problems we also have is codependency. And codependency is literally letting them lead. Letting them, and it's not even lead, letting them control. You're letting them control the narrative. As in any codependent relationship, you're sitting there going, I have no power and I will do everything you say. So everything your twin flame does and says, you're like, okay, I'm a teenage girl and I'm going to listen to everything and do everything you say. Like, literally, that's the way you are. And like, you have to start getting power within yourself. Like, you know, the objective of a twin flame connection is interdependency. You release and heal your codependency issues, and you come into an empowered independence that you can bring into the relationship. We're here to change how humanity does relationships. It gives me the ick, right? Back in the day, or still they probably fucking do it, women marry for money. They marry older men. It's like, oh, you have to marry someone who's like your father. Do you know what I mean? And they'll do everything and, like, you know, provide, and like, you know, there's no love here. Marry the farmer down the road, build a house beside your mother, all this kind of shit, like. And it's just like, no. We marry for love, but we marry for, like, we don't need a man to build our fires anymore. Us women are allowed to be independent, and this is the whole objective here. Interdependent relationships, empowered relationships, power couple relationships. Not one person losing themselves while the other one's, you know, sucks the life out of them, like a narcissistic dynamic. Literally, it's like, I've said this before. You and your twin flame are on full power at 111% all the time when you're together, and you're constantly plugged in. So you can't drain each other. You actually make each other go higher. You know what I mean? And it's like, but you have to get there first. You can't sit there and go, I'll come into power couple mode or empowerment mode or independent mode when they say I can. When they say you're worthy, so that's you can do what you want now. We have to get there first. We have to start finding our direction, finding our purpose. You know what I mean? It's funny because, like, as I said, when you're in the runner chaser stage, or even prior to even meeting your twin flame, you're literally in a phase of, I will sit here and wait for life to happen to me, wait for everything to change. And that gets very fucking uncomfortable. And it's funny, it was a year before I met my twin flame physically that I found my purpose, and I was building my purpose up on the year prior to meeting him, and it was because of my purpose that I actually met him. So, you know, if you haven't met your twin flame yet and you're questioning why not, or if you're not in union and in a separation and you're questioning why separation is still active, ask yourself, are you on mission? Are you doing the inner work? Are you, like, not only do we heal ourselves, the most important thing of the twin flame connection and the journey is inner healing for both parties. You have to heal, they have to heal. You have to heal. You have to choose yourself and heal your shit. And if you're not doing that, if you're not evolving, if you're not growing, things are going to remain stagnant. If you keep asking yourself why their behavior hasn't changed, ask yourself, has yours? Have you found direction? Are you doing the inner work? Are you evolving? Because this is the thing, your true twin flame connection is going to help you evolve. It is going to empower you, even on the times it feels disempowering. Like, what I mean by that is, every single trigger you get on a twin flame connection or the journey, it fucks you up. It fucks you up, but you come out of it so much stronger. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes again and again and again and again and again. You literally, like, if it was a karmic situation, like an unhealthy relationship, a narcissistic dynamic, you would literally have the life sucked out of you, and you would literally go, you know, you'd disappear into nothing. You'd lose all sense of self. But in the twin flame connection, every trigger is fucking painful, but you come out like a fucking superhero. Do you know what I mean? You really do. And, like, this is the thing, like, you know, I was in surrender mode for a long time, but I was in cyclical surrender. So I literally was in empowerment, disempowerment, again and again and again and again and again. And we have to get to a stage where everything they do or don't do doesn't disempower us again. And it took me a long time to get here. I literally was spending because this unworthiness one again, right? I have spent the last 8 years on the spiritual journey so far. And so about 7 or 8 years I've been doing inner child work, and that's connected to the unworthiness wound. And I've been saying to myself, and I've been feeling, worthy of love. But then every time I say I'm worthy of love or I'm enough, I can hear my inner child going, no, you don't. You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. The same old wound would come back up and say, you don't deserve love. You're not worthy. You're not good enough. You're disgusting. This was a self-disgust wound that I had. So it was like literally all of that came up again and again and again. And only in the last about 3 months, I'd say, because 4 months ago, the shit really hit the fan and I went completely low. I went completely disempowered. My heart was fucking shattered. But building myself up from that, finding my self-disgust wound, I can safely say with complete confidence that I am worthy and that I am deserving of love. And that took a long, long, long time to get there. But now I can safely say I am in empowerment mode. Because last weekend there was a few triggers connected to my twin flame. Actually, they're still ongoing a little bit. And I handled them so differently. The video I did Monday, it's I pre-introspected, as I'm calling it. And I literally saved myself a lot of pain by assessing the worst case scenario and releasing it. So every trigger that would have disempowered me, these triggers would have disempowered me a couple of months ago, but they've actually made me more stronger. I read this yesterday that just before union, you'll be tested. Your divine masculine will come back and literally test your boundaries and see if you will turn back into a teenage girl. That, I mean, you fucking nearly did. If I hadn't pre-introspected, I would have definitely done that, because I was literally going, oh, I better text him. And I was just like, no. You do not do that. You hold your own. And this is the empowerment side. This is literally you saying to yourself, I will not go back to teenage girl mode just because I got a little bit of contact, or, I feel the urge to reach out and I was like, I really need to text him. I don't really fucking need to text him. And if I did, I'd fucking fail the test and prolong separation. And that's effectively it. I've said this before. We're on a timeline. Now, obviously, the timeline is fluid. But if you're in separations, for example, separation is going to last in your connection 6 months. And it's going to be longer than that. But effectively, it could be 6 months. And if you decide halfway through those 6 months and 3 months and go, oh, maybe I'll text them. Then you text them and you literally restart the fucking timeline. It's like you go back to the fucking, the starting point, and it's like, it's going to be another 6 months. You only had 3 months left, but you fucked it up. So that's effectively what I mean by choosing yourself and choosing your empowerment, choosing your boundaries, is literally saying, I'm not doing the same thing I did before. And this is how we empower ourselves. We don't repeat the same cycles. For me, I allowed behavior that I shouldn't allowed. I allowed myself to be disrespected. And I did speak up a couple of times. But then guess what happened? I broke my boundary. Because I was like, but at least I'll get to see them. At least I get to see him, and, it'll be okay. At least I'll see him. And, just this kind of energy is like, if I just say yes, it means he'll see me, he'll love me, and everything will be okay. But every time I said yes, it literally restarted the timeline, and I went into ghosting mode again, and it's just like, what the fuck? And now I feel like shit again. Whereas now I'm doing things differently. I'm not going to be the way I was before. I am sovereign now. I am whole, and I am fucking complete. I am not going to go back into that low energy of neediness, desperation, because I'm already on that path of empowerment, and I'm in empowerment. I think this is the illumination stage, because I've never been in this stage before. I've been in surrender stage for a long time. I've been in all the other stages, but in an illumination, it's literally that empowerment stage where you're kind of going, I'm in control, not of the situation, but of yourself. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of how I feel. And I'm not letting somebody's behavior dictate my worth. My past, my whole past did that. My childhood, past relationships, it was affirmed to me over and over again that I was a useless piece of shit by the wrong people. So I spent my whole life in this self-disgust energy of unworthiness, thinking that I didn't deserve my twin flame, that I didn't deserve love, that I didn't deserve anything other than the life I had. And to get to a stage where I finally have fucking fucked that wound up and said, fuck you, and released it. And I'm in the stage now where it's like, I'm empowered, I'm ready. Because like, you know, we go through a phase prior to empowerment, as we call it, where we're in the surrender cyclical stage. And there's a moment for me, it was the first time ever on my twin flame journey, that I actually said, is this over? What if I'm wrong, completely wrong? And I was like, maybe he's not going to come back. He's afraid of commitment. Maybe I have to move on. Maybe I have to find someone else. Maybe I'm calling in a soulmate. And I genuinely went through this energy for a while. And I actually said to myself, I'm done. I'm moving on, that's it. But then all the signs come back in and it's just like, you're not fucking done. You can't run from this connection. Are you fucking stupid? It doesn't work like that. And it's literally like, you go back into this, and when you have those doubts, when you have that fear, when you start questioning about an external soulmate, that's really disempowered mode. That's complete and utter unworthiness, because you're literally saying, I'm not choosable and they will never choose me. But this is the reason behind that is because you haven't chosen yourself. And that's a fact. And I felt like I was choosing myself for a long time. I was on purpose path. I was doing the inner work again and again. But at the end of the day, I still believed that I wasn't good enough. I still believed that I was this disgusting piece of shit that I was told I was. And I was like literally thinking, how could somebody like him ever love somebody like me? Because I was identifying with my past and I was identifying with my wounds. Whereas now I don't identify with my wounds. The day I found that self-disgust wound was the best day of my fucking life. And actually it was the same weekend me and my twin had turbulence back in March. It was the same weekend he fucking rejected me effectively. And it was just before he rejected me, I found the self-disgust wound. So it was a really fucked up month of fucking March and April as well, where I was in the deepest despairs of self-disgust, and he literally affirmed to me that I wasn't worth his time or energy. So like literally I was like, I've been proven right once again that I'm not worth it. But I had to push myself and pull myself out of that. And that's where I'm at now. It's literally in a stage of, no matter what has happened, no matter what he said or what he did, doesn't make me a fucking disgusting piece of shit. It makes him not ready, or I keep saying now, I'm fucking overqualified, and he can overqualify himself to get up to this level, but fuck that shit, I'm not going back down again. I'm not being told I'm unworthy by another person. And like, this is the thing, like, this is how we find empowerment, is we do that deep dive into that pain. Like, as I said, my unworthiness kept coming back up, my wound kept coming back up again and again. And it was only when I went deeper and found a self-disgust wound that I really understood the blocks between me and union. Because I was blocking myself. I was identifying with the person I was in the past. The person I was in the past, because the person I felt I was because of my upbringing, because of my past relationships, because of mistakes I made, because of how people treated me. I identified as the person the person they created, effectively. Because, like, when you're abused again and again, it's just like literally you turn into if you're told you're, I don't like saying these words, a fat useless cunt over and over again by your fucking ex, you're literally gonna embody that. So I spent a lot of years literally seeing myself in the image other people claimed me to be. And to get out of that, and that's what we need to do, we have to release the treatment other people had towards us. We have to release how they made us feel, and understand that was never us in the first place. Because in fairness, we were identifying with a narcissist's opinion, an abuser's opinion. We were identifying with a persona that was created for us by fucking assholes. And that's why we feel unworthy. That's why our twin flames behavior makes us feel like shit. Is because we're identifying as that useless piece of fucking shit that we were told we were. And that was what was keep coming up for me. And it was so hard for me to find that deeper wound on the same weekend that my twin flame rejected me. You know, he verbally said, well, he more or less said, you're not worth my time or energy, so fuck off. He didn't say it like that. He wasn't nasty or anything, but he more or less said, I'm not going to make time for you, so you're not worth it. And I spent a couple of months literally in that disempowered mode. Probably the worst disempowerment I've had on this journey. And to come out of that, to get to a stage where I can finally say, I'm not going to break my boundaries. I'm not going to go back down and beg for you to love me, because that's disempowerment. I'm going to love myself so fully. And if you don't want this, then that's your loss. If you don't want to do the inner work and come and meet me here, that's fair enough. But I'm not going to feel like shit because of that. And that's the empowerment we feel. Getting to a stage where you're good on your own, great on your own, and not bothered whether they will come back or not. Now, obviously, you do trust that they'll come back. There is that connection. It's not gonna die. But like, you have to kind of get to an energy of, your behavior is not going to make me feel like shit anymore. Your behavior is not going to make me feel unworthy or disgusting anymore. Your behavior is not going to affect how I feel about myself. That's choosing yourself, and that's empowerment. When you can get to a stage of fully loving yourself so completely, knowing you're not what your past is, or what your past said, or what your ex has said, knowing that you are worthy of love, and you're worthy of the most divinest love, this, you know, you twin flame love, you're worthy of that. And so is your twin flame. You know what I mean? So like, you know, obviously they're going through this shit as well. You have to remember that. And I think this is another thing we have to remember. Is stop being so, not only do we disempower ourselves, we get angry with them and we get angry with ourselves. We're getting angry with them for technically feeling the same way we do. You know, their behavior is a reflection of how they feel about themselves, not how they feel about us. So we have to be more compassionate towards them as well. And that's it. Like, you have to be able to say, I understand that your behavior isn't because I'm unworthy. It's because you feel unworthy, and because you haven't chosen yourself, or because you're afraid, or you haven't done your healing. That's what it is. So like, you know, knowing that their actions or lack of actions has nothing to do with your worthiness can help with your empowerment as well. Remember, all the pain that you're going through is a result of your past wounding, not actually what your twin flame is doing. So remember that. This is both of your journeys, but it's also your journey. Your journey to sovereignty. Your journey to wholeness. Your journey to self-love. And that's important. And it's theirs as well. So think of it that way. It's their journey to sovereignty, self-empowerment, self-love as well. Our separate journey to empowerment and choosing ourselves will bring us into an interdependent union where we don't lose ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing. Because that's one of the biggest things that I used to have a fear of, is losing myself on this journey. And don't get me wrong, with the small bit of communication this week, it was the first thing I was like teenage girl mode. Oh my God. I want to be texted all day, every day. And it's just like, no. Breathe. Take a step back and hold your fucking horses here. Relax, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm in my power, and I'm not going back to do the same things I did before. I'm choosing myself. I'm choosing my empowerment, and I'm choosing to allow divine timing to unfold on its own. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to rush it. And like, this is the thing, like, you know, when you're in this energy of fear and disempowerment, it's like, waiting on the phone, it's like, he's going to text now, and it's like, no, it'll be tomorrow, and then he doesn't text, and you're sitting there going, I'm so sad. But then you're like, no. And then now, because of that introspection I was doing, I literally say to myself, I know he's going to be in contact. I don't have a fucking clue when, so I'm just going to get on with life. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to hearing from him, but I'm not going to sit here like a teenage girl and disempower myself while I wait. Because I'm not waiting. I'm going to get on with my life. You know, union's going to happen when you're both ready. Union's going to happen when you're both healed. Union's going to happen when you both choose yourselves. And the only way your twin flame will choose you is if they choose themselves first and if you choose yourself first. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share. And please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I would love like more than to help in your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. I also have a course for sale, Healing After Narcissistic Abuse. There's info for that in the description box as well. And I have a free feminine empowerment workshop coming up next Wednesday, the 29th of July at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time, for us ladies to get together and support each other. If you want info for that, please comment below.